Here we go. Well, thank you so much, Kate, for volunteering to do this training. I know even as designers, we still default to Canva for so many things because it's so easy and quick. So I'm super excited to learn everything that you're going to teach. I know everybody's going to get tons of value out of this, and I have no doubt there is some nuggets of information in here. So I'm going to pass it over to you, and you can take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Meredith. And hello, everybody. I'm Kate. Thank you so much for joining today, or if you're watching the recording, thanks for actually watching it. I know Meredith and I were just talking about this. I always have the best intentions of watching the recordings for these types of things, and I never do. So if you actually are, kudos to you. So thank you so much for joining. We are going to talk today about Canva and how you can make it your business bestie. Can you guys see this toolbar on the bottom of my screen? Oh,
yep.
I don't know why that's there. Anyway, let's ignore it. So anyways, hello, I'm Kate. I am the owner and creative director of Field & Co. Creative, and I also moonlight as My Wolf Designs brand designer. So if you are a past client of My Wolf Design, we may have had a conversation or two. I'm a professionally trained design expert with an advanced diploma from Conestoga College. I'm a cat mom. I'm a nature lover. I love to kayak, hike, all that good stuff. And I'm the tell you like it is friend that we all need in our lives, self-proclaimed. And I've watched way more garbage reality television than I'd like to admit. And it's not just because of COVID, unfortunately. That's just who I am as a person. It makes me feel better about who I am. So today, what we're going to learn is a lot about Canva. It's going to be kind of a workshop tutorial style. So if you have two screens, or you're able to kind of put this up in the corner and have Canva going, it would be super awesome if you can work along with me. I know that's how I learn best. If you'd rather go back and watch the recording again and kind of go through it yourself, just pay attention now and then do that later, whatever works for you. But it will be very hands-on. So we're going to figure out how to set up your brand kit in Canva. So this is really going to help you with making sure that your colors, fonts, logos are always consistent, because a huge part of building trust within your audience and around your brand is consistency. If you're using different fonts and colors all the time, people are going to have a really hard time gauging who you are. And when you're scrolling through social media, if you don't recognize something, it's going to be a lot harder. There's a bit of a barrier there for you to trust the person and trust the content. Whereas if you're somebody who posts similar types of content and you have influence on your social media, if you're using the same colors, fonts, and stuff that people can recognize right away, you're going to stop their scroll because they're like, hey, that's so-and-so, and I want to know what they have to say. So leading into that, we are going to create some social media templates, or just find out how to, because when you're going to create content, it can be a huge barrier for starting. You're like, okay, I have this content idea. I want to post 5 tips to do this. But something that is holding me back is the design of the post. I have no idea where to begin. I'm sure we have all been there. I'm the opposite way. I'm like, I can make the design, but I have no idea what the content is. And that's how my brain works. And then we're going to talk about properly exporting your designs. It's the worst when you've spent so long on creating a post and then only to export it and it's blurry once you post it. That is the worst. So you can follow along and or take notes and work at the same time as me, whatever works for you. So let's talk about what Canva is great for. So Canva is an amazing design tool that has allowed small business owners like all of you to be able to create content and design things without having a design knowledge or without having a huge budget to hire a designer every time you need something done. And with social media and small business being what it is and what it has grown to during the pandemic, we need that. You can't be asking a designer to be designing something for you every single time you need something new. That is just not how it works with small businesses. When you're a one-person show, it's impossible to do. So having Canva is really, really an awesome tool for that. So you can do things like design social posts, create presentations like this one, create a pricing guide. I have some more examples coming up. But Canva isn't the be all end all. There is something that you should not use Canva for, and that is creating your logo. Logos are a science, and people like me and Meredith have learned for a long time and had lots of experience and have the right tools and the right knowledge to be able to create really strategic, beautiful logos that work at multiple different sizes that are really just professional. And using Canva to create your logo is really not that smart of a decision. If you absolutely need to in the beginning because you have no funds to hire a brand designer, that's okay. But the moment you can, please hire a brand designer to design your logo. Meredith, I know, is very passionate about this as well. Do you have any thoughts to add to that, Mer?
No, I think you said it all. I think it's a great tool to bring in the brand, but not create the brand.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. I like that. To put it all together and support it, but not to create it. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for that. So here's a non-exhaustive list of things you can use Canva for. So social posts. So anything from a grid post on your Instagram to creating a story, to creating reels and reel covers, highlight covers, those little bubbles on your profile. You can create some cool like stickers for on your Instagram story that are branded. Like, how we have those limited gifts or whatever you can add right in Instagram. You can create your own and just have them in your camera roll. There are so many really great things you can use Canva for on social media. Also, your profile photos and banners. If you want like your logo on a colored background, you can use Canva to create that. You can use Canva to create presentations like this one. If you want to create a pricing guide for your business, maybe it's something that is like a PDF that people have to sign up for your email list and then they get your pricing guide. If you wanted to create a PDF workbook, like a freebie, I don't know if I said that. You can create business cards, thank you cards, design them and have them printed, not through Canva, but otherwise, and anything else that will support your business, but again, not your logo, please. And the number one tip I can give you for Canva is to purchase Canva Pro. So it is a business write-off. I believe, I'm not going to 100% say it is, but I'm 99.9%. Yes. Okay. So at $16.99 per month or $149.99 per year. I am not sponsored by them, but I totally recommend this. It gives you access to premium stock photos, and they're so easy to just drag and drop right in Canva. There's premium templates and graphics as well. So different little shapes and templates to start from. It also gives you the brand kit capability, which is something that we're going to dive into. And it's a really, really important part of using Canva is the brand kit. And it also gives you access to magic resize, which is a really cool feature. So say you use Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can create your post for Instagram and then click LinkedIn sizing, Twitter sizing, and it'll automatically resize it for you. You just have to move a couple things around. So that's something that makes content creation a lot quicker. There's also a bunch of other features too. These were just the most notable for this context. So we're going to start with talking about setting up your brand kit. So if you guys have Canva open right now, you can do this along with me. But what you're going to do is go to your brand kit on Canva. Have you guys been into that before? Nod, wave, raise your hand if you have. Yeah. Awesome. Brand kit is the number one thing you need on Canva to keep everything consistent. So what you can add in here are your colors from your color palette, your fonts, if you use custom fonts that are not already in Canva, and you can upload your logos. So when we're talking about colors, you're going to want to pull your hex color code, which is what you can see right here on my presentation. It's like the hashtag or pound sign or a number sign, however you want to say it, and 6 letters or numbers. That's called a hex code, and that's the exact code of your color to make sure that it's the same every single time you use it. So if you take that, and you will be able to find that on your brand guidelines if you worked with a brand designer. You can add that right into Canva and remove any other colors you may have in there, because we want to stick to your 5 or 6 brand colors.
Kate, are we supposed to see your Canva right now?
No.
Okay.
I have it as, yeah, I can show you. Would it be helpful if I showed you right in Canva? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I can do that. Absolutely. I wasn't sure what would be best for
No worries.
Okay. I'm going to reshare here.
Awesome.
Okay. Can we see Canva now on my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I saw there was also something in the chat. Do I need to?
Nope, I got it.
Okay, cool. All right. So when you're in Canva, you can, and you might have to have the pro version to be able to do this. If you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's tools, and then we have brand kit. So I'm going to go in there, and you can see I have all of my brand kit stuff in here because I do use Canva sometimes. So I've uploaded my logos. And then there's also my colors here. They look a bit different than the screenshot I had. So what you're going to do is add a color palette, and you're going to want to add a custom palette. Where did that go? It doesn't want to work for me. Sorry, guys. All right, let's try that again. I have no idea why that's not working. Anyway, it'll be here, and then you can click add a custom palette, and you can, I'll do it right here. Right here is where you'll put in your hex code. So you can see that there's a hex code there, and every color you click on is going to have its own hex code, but you want to type in the ones that are for your brand, whatever they might be. So you will find those on your brand guidelines. And then as well, you can add your fonts. So if you worked with a brand designer, they would have either given you font files or directed you to purchase and download those files yourself. So they're actually like a file on your computer, and you can click upload a font, and then you can go grab those. So this is what they actually look like. They'll be an OTF or a TTF file. You can open those and add them, and make sure you do have licensing to them because fonts are intellectual property, and you can upload the fonts. So your brand fonts might be in Canva already. Canva has quite an exhaustive list of fonts. So if they do have it already, there's no need to upload it. And then for your logos, you will upload your logos to the brand logos section by clicking the plus here, and make sure that you grab PNG files of your logo. So I will show you an example here with one of our clients. Logo files. So PNG is the file type you want, and you can upload all of the files that your brand designer would have given you. So it should be your primary, secondary, icon, logos, and all of your brand colors. So I'm not actually going to do it because then I would have like 25 of my clients' logos in my brand kit. But you can just select them and then click open. And that will add them here. And so we want to select a PNG because it has a transparent background, and we can put it over whatever we want. So there's not like a white box around our logo. So as you can see, there's like a checkery kind of background behind all these logos. That means that it's a PNG and that it has that transparent background, and that is essential. Please do not upload a JPEG file of your logo. It will just not look good, and it will look unprofessional. I'm going to go back to my presentation. So I kind of basically went over this stuff. So this is all about colors and fonts. So this will walk you right through it. If you do want to go back in afterwards and follow this through, you can do that through the recording. And yep, logos here. Remember PNG, not JPEG. And I would recommend uploading it in all of the color variations that you have, so that you always have something that will work no matter what background you're using on your content. So then we're going to talk about using your brand kit. So we've put it all into our brand kit. Now, how do we find it? So when you're in Canva and you're creating a design, on the left-hand panel, there's styles and then there's logos tab. So I will go back into Canva and I will show you that. So when you click create a design, you'll see along the left-hand side here, there's styles, which houses our fonts and colors. And then logos, which has your logos here. And you can literally just drag and drop those onto your canvas. And if, say, I had like a square, oh my gosh, I can choose my brand colors. So my brand colors sit right there, or I can go under styles and choose them that way. Actually, don't do that. It doesn't work. You can go to the color palette up here and see, you can see it says Field & Co Creative 2022. That's what I called my brand kit. So all those colors sit right at the top there. So it's really important to make sure that we use the same colors every single time and we don't have slight variations. So you may say, oh, my brand color is purple. I'll just go here and I'll choose a color purple. And that's my brand color because it's purple. Like, that's not professional. That's not what you should do. It is not consistent. People will be able to see, like, when you go to your Instagram grid or you go to your website, there's a like inconsistency in your colors and it makes it look really kind of like hodgepodge and unprofessional. So simple things like consistency really, really help with your brand image. And I also really don't like the color purple, so let's get rid of that. Back to my presentation here. So now that you've got your brand kit all together, you'll probably want to create some social media templates. So when I say templates, I mean something that you can use over and over again, and you can swap out photos and text to be able to make content creation easier for you and to make your Instagram or whatever social media you're using look consistent. That's a big theme, is consistency. So when you're thinking about creating social media templates, it's good to do a little bit of brainstorming first. So what do you utilize most? Is it your grid posts, reels, stories? Is it LinkedIn posts, maybe a Facebook post, Twitter, whatever you use most? Try to create like a list of that. And then what type of content is useful and strategic for your business? What type of content do you find you have the most engagement on, or that does really well when you go to your insights, or that your ideal client is interacting with, or is just valuable for your ideal client? And creating a list of that is really, really helpful as well. And then the actual type of content you normally create. So is it quotes, how-to, recipes, maybe a house listing, Q&A, tips, portfolio pieces, a team intro, etc. Creating a list of the types of content you use, what types of content you should be putting out, and what platforms you utilize most is essential to do before actually going to create this, because what the theme of this is saving your time. So just to make sure we're doing it strategically, there's no sense in creating templates that you're not going to use. So a set of 5 to 10 grid post templates for Instagram is essential for most businesses. And I am going to focus on Instagram because I think that's where a lot of us live. And this is obviously, it can all be used on other social media platforms. So when you're going to create a design on Canva, they have 1,000,001 different sizes you can use. So if you just start typing and searching Instagram, you can view all the different sizes. So there's like the story size, the grid post size, and the reel size. I think the reel size and the story size are the same though. And that makes sure that you're creating it at the right dimensions for Instagram. I am going to do this in Canva. That is much easier. Okay. So create a design and start typing in Instagram. So we have a lot of different options here. I'm just going to go post. I believe post portrait is not the like newest dimensions, but just a bit of a taller rectangle. It's not the complete square, it's a taller rectangle. So whichever one that you find works best for you is fine. Some people might have something different to say. So we've got our Instagram post here, and something that you can do is go over to the templates tab, and there are so many templates here. And I wouldn't want you to just click this and change out the name and post it, because that is not unique, and people are going to know that you just did that from Canva. And there is so many people who just use the first template they can find. So if you do that, you're very likely to have very similar content to somebody else. So we really want to make it unique and work for us, but these are a really great starting point. So I'm going to find one and do an example here. One that I like. Say if you're posting like a calendar or something like this, this is a really good jumping off point, so you don't have to start from scratch. Okay, I kind of like this. I think we can do a lot better here though. So if you just click on it, it adds it to your post. So we're going to start with this. First of all, I don't want this font. So if you click on the font, you can click up here where the font name is. It's just like if you're using Microsoft Word. And then you can see these are my brand kit fonts. They're the ones that are under the like brand kit heading that I've created. So I'm going to put this in my brand fonts. So just by clicking it, changed it. Then I'm going to do the same thing with all these fonts. And if you hold down Shift while you're clicking, you can select multiple things. So I'll do the same thing here. This is my brand font. And I'm not sure that I like this background. So if you click on elements, there are lots of different stock photos you can use. So something I always like to start with is aesthetic. For some reason, this pulls up the best types of things. And then you can click photos at the top here, and you can find some really cool stock photos. I kind of like this one. So if you just click and drag and drop over it, it'll change it. Oh, that doesn't work very well. Maybe this one. I do kind of like that photo. It's
Hey, Kate, I'm just going to hop on what you just did. You added a photo and you said it didn't work well. Can you explain why it didn't work well?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Good point. I'll go back to that. So the reason why this one does not work well is it has these like dark spots behind the text, and it makes it hard to read this text that's on here. So if I really, really wanted to use this photo, you can double click and then you can like move it around, and maybe I could make it work with like making it bigger and like cropping it out like that. That's a bit better, but it still feels a bit too busy with the text. I really want to focus on this text here. Thank you for that, Meredith. That one's okay too. I do like this one. Okay, so we'll leave it with the cloud. And then obviously you're going to want to change out text. You can just like click on it and then change it. So I'm going to make it my handle. And then I don't really like the way this is like, it's called a low opacity, how you can like see through it. I'd rather it be completely white. So it wouldn't really matter if I use that other photo anyway. But so what you can do is click on the thing you want to change. And then there's this little checkered thing, which is inspired by the backgrounds of the PNG. Like we saw before, there was like the checkered background meant it was transparent. So changing the transparency, if you click on that, you can go up and down here. So I want mine to be completely solid. And then I think I'm going to change it to my brand color, because I have like this cream, like off-white color in my brand kit palette. So I did that just by clicking on it. And then the little square that was the color, you can change it that way. So we've got my brand colors, my brand fonts, and I swapped it out, the background. And then obviously you can put kind of whatever text you want to put in here. I would probably also do something like, I want to add a photo of myself, I think. So I'm going to search for a frame. Not like that. I want a frame like this. So when they have this little like landscape kind of cartoon looking thing, it means you can put a photo in it. So I'm going to put that up here and just make sure everything's spaced well. Then I'm going to find a photo of myself and just drag, and you see how it went like in there. You can drag it, drop it into there. I wouldn't post this because it means nothing. It just says, remember to laugh. I would change what it says, but it's super easy to be able to create something custom. So this doesn't look exactly like somebody else would have posted. We've really changed it a lot from the template. So I highly encourage you to use templates because it'll save you a lot of time as well. Just make sure that you are customizing them and making them your own and making sure that your spacing is good. So make sure like these are all centered. You can also use this tool. If I select a couple things here, there's like under the 3 dots, there's position, and that'll change where your stuff is. So I don't want to do that because it put it all, but I could click like center to make sure everything's centered vertically, just to make sure that there's not one like off to the side like this kind of thing. And remember, you can always click Command or Control Z to go back. That'll be a really helpful tool. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. I think I'm coming to the end here. Watch me create an Instagram post template. You did that. Oh, we want to save it as a template. Okay. So say this is a post maybe I want to put up every week. I want to put up some sort of reminder. So I want to save this as a template so that I can use this again and not have to go in and change all these fonts and make sure that it's exactly the same and save myself a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click share. And then under more, there's an option called template. So if I save that, you can share it to whatever folder you want. If you have a team that has access to your Canva, make sure you share it to a folder that they have access to. But I'll just pop it in my templates folder here. So, and then I'll click publish template. So when I click view, you can see that that comes up as a daily reminder, and that'll live, I believe, right under here or right under your projects. And so then when I click it, I can click use this template and it creates a copy of it so that I'm not messing with this one. So I could do that each week whenever I want to create this post that's like a daily reminder post. So this works really well if you do have content like that, that you end up posting a lot of, like if you have a quote that you share each week, or if you have like your team member, a new team member is added to your team, you want to introduce them the same way each time, rather than going in and creating a whole new post every time, this will really just save you a lot of time. So when I was saying to create a list of things you use, you could go through and create a template for each one of those things on that list so that you're doing that once. And then by the time you're coming around to your content creation day, whenever that may be, you're really just saving yourself a lot of time on that day. Anything you can batch with social media, do it. If you don't use a scheduling app, I would highly recommend it, and get all your content pumped out in one day. And then if we want to export them, so I'm ready. This is my post for the day. I want to post it to Instagram or put it in my scheduling app. You need to get it out of Canva. So I'm going to click share again. And then we're going to click download. And PNG is, again, going to be your best friend. It's just a bit higher quality than the JPEG. If you're doing something that you're going to be printing, say like a business card or a thank you card or anything that's going to be printing, you can do PDF print. It will change your colors so that they're good for a printer. And if you have any video in your post, make sure you save it as an MP4 video. So if you end up creating a reel in Canva, or if you have like a video background, which is also something you can do, make sure you save it as an MP4. But PNG for images is all you need to remember. And then if you're doing something like I had mentioned with like the stickers on your Instagram story, you can click transparent background, but there's nothing that needs to be transparent on this, so we don't need to click that. And then you just click download and it'll save it to your computer. And I'm not going to save it. What's next? Okay, just a few recommendations. So keep it simple, because you probably aren't a designer. It's so much easier to create something beautiful and eye-catching if you just keep it simple. Don't overcrowd with graphics and like add a whole bunch of text. That's what your captions are for. Try to keep the post really simple with text, and then kind of go into your explanations or whatever in captions. Stick to your brand colors and fonts. I can't emphasize that enough. If you maybe are making like a post for the holidays or something and you want to use Christmas colors, whatever, that's fine. But for the most part, please try to stick to your brand colors and fonts. Again, it builds consistency, it builds trust, and it really just looks aesthetically pleasing when you look at all of your stuff together. When you're looking for stock images or videos in Canva, try to look for ones that have your brand colors in them, because it really just helps to further that brand identity and that consistency. My biggest recommendation is to hire a brand designer for your brand identity, which is your logos, your color palette, and your fonts. This will be a really great foundation to start from and be able to use Canva to support that brand rather than create it. Don't take it too seriously. Social media is a really great tool for your business, but it is not the be all end all. If you don't like content creation and you don't do it for a few weeks, that's totally fine. Does anybody have any questions about Canva or about creating your brand kit or anything like that?
Anyone have any? I have a question, but I'll let everyone go first. You guys have anything? No.
I have a question. So the new algorithm has just, or the Facebook or Instagram has like redone how you view photos, how you view videos, and now the captions are kind of overlaid photos, videos, etc. So it's harder to read captions.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talk in the community about like how do you transform what your message is online through social media if people can't actively read your captions. And I know that's an accessibility problem that Instagram needs to figure out, but I just saw that you said use captions for longer text. That's becoming an issue. What is the solution? Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say that I absolutely despise the new format.
Yeah.
I wish they would keep it the way that it is. And maybe if we yell it loud enough, they will. But I think that overall, yeah, keeping it as simple as possible and as digestible as possible, whether that's in your graphic, reel, or whatever, and your caption is the best way to go over social media. People have such short attention spans, and being able to capture them and have them actually read something that's super long is really difficult. It depends like what your kind of like platform is. Some people will read really long captions. Some people don't care. Something you could do is like, if you're creating reels, you could use like, and you have a long piece of text you want to get across, you could break it up. Like say the first line of text is on the first slide of the reel, next slide is the next piece of text, like that kind of thing, and have it kind of cycling through. You can also do like the carousel post. That's like the grid post that you can swipe through. So keep each slide simple, but you can put 10 slides. So you can have a lot of content, but just not overcrowding one square so that people aren't being overwhelmed with a ton of text and a ton of graphics, like visually all at the same time. Does that answer your question, Kelly?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know about what you're talking about.
With the new format?
It's rolling out slowly. Some people, they've changed, actually, you know, like the Instagram square, everything is like a square. That's no longer. It's now like a reel format, like 16:9. So all even photos, etc. So if you're uploading a square picture, they'll actually blow it out and pick a color that's in your photo and kind of like blur it at the top and bottom. So, and then the next part of that is you can't see the caption. Normally you could see the picture and the caption on your, like on your phone. So now you can't see that. So now you have to like expand it and it comes over your photo or over your video or whatever.
Oh, weird.
Have like a grayed out background or a whited out background. So you can still see what's behind it, but it's a bit transparent. And then all the text is on top of that. So it makes it really hard to read because that's really difficult to read in general. But so the thought is to keep your caption really short so that people will read it if they do, right? And so to put your message in the photo or in the video, and then but that goes against what she is saying with putting your message in the caption, right? So it's like this, what is the solution? What is the right thing here? Instagram's making it really hard to do business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just,
I think it's
changing it.
Also the right thing is different every day, and there isn't necessarily one right thing. I think whatever feels good and is doable for you and you find works, that's totally fine. Instagram continuously pulls the rug out from under us, so we just have to do what we feel best with doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who else has a question? Okay, I'll ask mine. As somebody who struggles with reels, something, and from just like an exporting perspective, I've found that, how do I explain this? So I create the reel in Canva, and then what I have to do to keep the resolution, because if I export it on my computer and then like email it to myself, I lose all the resolution. So I have to create it on the desktop because it's way easier to do a reel that way. Go then onto the Canva app on my phone, export it that way, and then, but even still, sometimes it's blurry. So I'm exporting it as the oh my gosh,
MP4.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But am I doing something wrong?
So what you could do is export from Canva on your computer and then airdrop it to your phone from your computer.
Okay.
That should keep your resolution more.
Okay.
Instagram also just likes to mess with it. Do you find that it's blurry, even like when it's in your camera roll even, or only when you upload it?
Only when I upload it.
Yeah, so Instagram can just like mess with things. I don't know. It does that to me sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
But
I always think
if there's, I'm just going to see if there's like any options. Yeah, so there's no options when you're in MP4 video. So it's not like you can change your resolution there.
Right.
But the airdrop might help. Email, I know, can be really harsh on videos. Or you could like upload it to Google Drive and then save it to your phone that way. Or I don't know if you can schedule reels yet.
I haven't tried. I make them and they take me 8 hours. And so I'm so proud when it's done. I just post
it. Meredith, I'm still scared of them. I'm like, I don't even know. I didn't even know you could create a reel in Canva. How does that even happen? What kind of content are you making in Canva?
Yeah.
I just thought you had to do it all on your phone.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example here. So when you type in Instagram reel, it gives you the sizing. So, and when you click that, it gives you this like timeline down here. So it's in like a video mode. So something you could do is like these templates have here, just something really simple like this. And it's just got like the video background even, because
Okay.
Instagram favors video content. That's going to be a good thing to have, or you could do, like slides. So you could have, yeah, like that's pretty cool how there's like different slides here.
Leah's a realtor, so like you could even feature a property using a reel. So all the photos you get, you could just and put it over music, and a reel is going to get more views.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know I think I've done like 3 reels in total, but I did them all from my phone. So I guess I was kind of curious what kind of reel you would create in Canva versus what you create on your phone, but you just answered that for me. That's great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No problem. Reels, yeah, are scary and I would rather not make them, but sometimes you have to.
Jennifer, I saw you pop on there for a quick second. I didn't know if you had a question.
No, I just wanted to say, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for everything. You guys are awesome. So
Oh. Kate,
Thank you.
You know Jennifer.
Yes, I'm trying to place what her
Golden
business
Beauty
name
Lounge.
is. Golden Beauty Lounge. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I know this name.
All the way
What's
from
the business
Seattle.
name?
yeah, but I used to live in Oakville. So,
Oh, nice. Well, nice
that's
to meet you,
great.
Jennifer.
Thanks, guys. And that was seriously so helpful. I've been like struggling with Canva. So,
Kate, I had no idea about saving it as a template. I just I go and find the old design, duplicate it, and do it. So you've just saved me a lot time.
Well, I'm really glad I could help. Even if it was one little thing you got out of it, I am happy to.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well, because I know like for my just purchased and just sold, I do have a template, but I was just replacing the picture and the text on it. So now that I know that I can save it as a template, you're going to be seeing a lot more templates, Meredith.
That's good. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think you do have to have the paid plan to do that. So make sure.
I do have that. Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, I think you could do that for anything. Like if you had highlight covers or something, or it doesn't just have to be a post. It could be a story. Like if you have a specific story you're posting, you can do templates for anything that you're creating. Or if you have like a freebie or like I said, a pricing guide or something, you can create that as a template if you want to. Anything can be a template, not just an Instagram post. So
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have anything for Kate? Designer extraordinaire. All good?
I think I'm going to update my Instagram bio to say that.
You should.
I also wanted to mention that if you have not worked with Meredith or myself on your brand identity and or website, and you are interested in doing that, please reach out to, again, either Meredith or myself. We'll be happy to help you in whatever way we can. We work together, we work separately. We'll figure it out. We'd be happy to help you get set up with a beautiful brand identity that you can take into Canva and use to support your business.
Thanks, Kate. And you also have a guide that I'm going to be including, right?
Yes.
Did you want to talk about that? Okay.
Good point. Okay, this is what happens when I go off script from the presentation. So I do have a Canva font pairing guide. So if you do not have fonts, with your brand identity, this is something that could really help you. They're all fonts that are available in Canva, and I show you how to pair different fonts together. Like for example, picking like a header font and then a body font, what size to put them at, all that good stuff. So, and that is a freebie that will be in the email that Meredith sends you afterwards with the recording. You can click that link and download it.
Cool. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone,
and feel free to email me with any questions anytime, design, whatever.
Cool. Yeah. I'll include your Instagram handle as well, so that you guys can find her. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the recording and then here we go. Oh, I lost it. Ah, there.